The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. The disciples of John came to Jesus saying, "Why do we and the Pharisees fast often, but your disciples do not fast?" And Jesus said to them, "The wedding guests cannot mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them, can they? The days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast." The Gospel of the Lord. On this third day of Lent, the Church deepens its understanding of fasting. That was one of the three disciplines that we heard on Ash Wednesday. On Ash Wednesday, Jesus said in the Gospel that our fasting is to be done in secret, and the Father who sees in secret will reward that person. And so they are to wash their face, put oil on their head, so that no one will know that they're fasting. In today's first reading from Isaiah chapter 58, we go a little deeper, because there the prophet insists that fasting cannot stand alone. It must be united with a righteous way of living. And that's exactly what the Israelites were not doing. They were fasting during the day, and then at night they were cheating their neighbor. It says, "Look, you fast only to quarrel and to fight and to strike with a wicked fist. Such fasting as you do today will not make your voice heard on high." Well, then the prophet goes on to say exactly what kind of fasting will be efficacious. "Is this not the fast that I choose, to loose the bonds of injustice, to undo the thongs of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry, and bring the homeless poor into your house? When you see the naked, to cover them, and not to hide yourself from your own kin? Then your light will break forth like the dawn, and your healing shall spring up quickly. Your vindicator shall go before you. The glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard. Then you shall call, and the Lord will answer. You shall call for help, and he will say, 'Here I am.'" Now notice in 1 Samuel, when the child Samuel sensed that God was calling him, he said, "Here am I." Now God is saying to those who choose to do his will, "Here I am, and I will come to serve you." That's the real glory of this fast that unites itself with righteous living. In the Gospel, Jesus goes even further because he is addressed by genuine questioners, in this case, John the Baptist's own disciples, who say, "Why is it that the scribes and the Pharisees, they fast twice a week, and yet your disciples do not fast at all?" Here, Jesus is addressing hypocrisy because the Pharisees are fasting much more than even the law requires. They're fasting twice a week in order to be seen as holy, and yet they're going to conspire to kill Jesus. So Jesus says, "The wedding guests cannot mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them, can they?" The bridegroom is with them. The incarnation is precisely to bring God into our midst so that there can be this nuptial union between Christ, who is the bridegroom, and the church, which is the bride. Jesus says the days will come when the bridegroom will be taken away from them, and then they will fast. For us today, our bridegroom is not here in the sense that he was on the earth walking with the disciples, but he is here in the tabernacle. So the question naturally arises, well, if Jesus is here, present, body, blood, soul, and divinity, then why should we fast? The answer is, yes, our bridegroom is present here, but perhaps we are not fully present to our bridegroom. There are parts of our own soul that have yet to be united with the bridegroom. That's why we need to fast and to do those three disciplines: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, so that we become closer united with our bridegroom. There's no difference, there's no break like there was in that first reading between what we know is good and what we say is right, and then how we act. So as we continue to journey through the season of Lent, let us ask the Lord to unite our hearts, our minds, our spirits, so that we are genuine in our love for God and our neighbor. And then Jesus will say, "Here I am," as he is doing in the Eucharist, presenting himself fully to us. Let us take him into our souls so that we're fully united with our bridegroom and that we are united with his will.